after the very absolutely scintillating discussion that we had in the previous session, and with time approaching, we have a very tough task. One good thing is that in place of 4, there are only 3 speakers now. Let me first mention the following thing. When we talk about the problems of the MSMEs, there are many. I mean, that will take not one session, but it will take a lot of time to talk about that. But essentially, an MSME is or may lack technology, may lack market, may lack finance. Of these 3 things, the technology, market and finance, I am not talking about whether they have a product or not. Today, essentially, we will try to talk about how does government, how does the civil society, how do the public authorities try to respond the financial challenge. And on that, Mudra has been set apart as one of the key facets. So, I think we should start by requesting Sri Sahu, who is the in charge of SIDBI in the state of Karnataka, my home state, to first start the discussion, and thereafter we hear from the prime group about his experience, and in between I will come in and then I will conclude. So, it will be a much different format rather than having a question and answer session. So, I request Sri Sahu, A.C. Sahu to set the ball rolling.
See, when I joined in IDBI, I had a great ambition what I can do for my state. I am a practical man, I am not an articulator. I believe more in doing things rather than research, development, that is somebody else's job. Today challenge is that we know the problem, we know the issues, but what is the solution? What I can contribute? That is more important is that everybody knows MSME has a lot of problem, but when I see problem, I see opportunity. That is most important. If there is no problem, there is no opportunity. A lot of FDI is coming to India because of the opportunity, but they see problem. You have problem of traffic in India, Bangalore, there are a lot of opportunity. You have problem of poverty in Odisha, a lot of opportunity. There is lack of MSME unit in Odisha, so a lot of opportunity. So how I can contribute and the skill to take up enterprise. SIDBI is there. If you want to know anything about SIDBI, there is a website. But I will tell some 4 or 5 things what SIDBI can do for the state of Odisha, which I am doing for the state of Karnataka. I require a good organization who can impart training to the young people.
Good afternoon to all luminaries, dignitaries, students and aspiring entrepreneurs present over here, especially to the respected chief guest, Dr. Anup. Especially to the respected chief guest, Dr. Anup Pujari, former Secretary, MSME Department, Government of India. I feel honored to be a part of this seminar and share my views over being a successful SME entrepreneur. I also humbly acknowledge and appreciate the conveners for giving me this opportunity to see it as a recognition of SME's crucial role in our country today to be the engine of growth and development. Well, let me admit my skill sets are different. I run a SME. Articulating my thoughts in a presentation is a thing which I get an opportunity to do very rarely, but I'll try to do my best. In the fast changing world of single market economy and with the advent of digital and social media, there is a shift in the way consumers are interacting with the brands and the consumer goods supply chain. I strongly believe now is the time for us, key influence in the SME sector, to shift gears and capture every opportunity to drive growth in this intensely competitive market. Conventionally, SMEs have been responsive, innovative to ever-changing market dynamics, have played a key role in generating employment for the youth, focused on empowering women in the agricultural, industrial, manufacturing and services sector. I contributors to our limited self-capital and lack of sufficient knowledge of running SME. It was exactly the same for my unit, but I took a different approach. My setup was small, the margins were good in those days, and I became an all-in-one person. In the morning, I went to the units, did my account works, supervised my factory till 5 o'clock, and then went to the market as a salesman in the evening. I didn't have any accountant, supervisor, or salesman in those startup days. It saved me money and gave me a very grounded sense of my business, and helped me building of an image of being a hardworking entrepreneur who delivers. Naturally, I got buyers and gradually got some financial credits from the market, and with sheer hard work and grit built up a bit of a brand reputation. It helped me in leveraging with the banks, and I got some money as loans, although it was very limited. Odisha, which were unexplored then, and worked like anything for building up the brand. In the 90s and early 2000, when it was in consumer product distribution business. I took distribution of some known FMCG companies like Chiclets, Nutrient Confectionaries, Herbie Cosmetics, Old Spice aftershave lotions and deodorants for the town of Bhubaneswar. Trained the marketing staff and started promoting my own brand in it. The second strategy was, after initially selling in Bhubaneswar and then gradually entering various parts of Odisha, soon in a few years in the early 20s, I had made a reasonable presence in all major parts of Odisha. Thank you.
He gave two examples. He mentioned that two things he learned. One was that he took the agency of certain other FMCGs, learned their tricks and adopted them. Second thing, he said that he did not want to go to another state because the scheme is such that the margins will come down. In spite of that, he still thinks that if there is more competition, Brazil comes to Odisha, he will still survive. How is that?
That is my confidence.
That is very good. That is confidence. Okay. Let me, before I open it for question, I know that there is very little time. I want to make 3 or 4 points. Essentially, from the points made by Sandeep Babu and also Sadhu Babu. Number 1. The point that he made about the cluster approach, in some sense government has understood that, and therefore there is a requirement now, or there is a thinking now, that the cluster need not be physical clustering but virtual clustering. The second point is that the government of India has brought in a scheme called Laghu Udyog Bandhu, as per which the difficulties that Sandeep Babu initially mentioned, that I am only one person, I did the work till 8 o'clock in the 5 o'clock, then I go, then I do this thing. Everybody realizes that a small scale or a micro entrepreneur, the biggest problem is the number of people working with him. Therefore, rather than asking him or her to come to government offices, the Laghu Udyog Bandhu scheme is designing a way by which mentors should be there, and digitally they will be mentored, because you don't have to come to anybody unless it is entirely necessary. By phone or email, you will be able to get certain benefit. Ame anek thara kahu je innovation is the key to different things. Is innovation something completely out of the world? Is innovation something which is Nobel Prize winning idea? I'll explain to this boy that you will find each one of you can innovate. এই রকম গোটে নূয়া হোটেলটি তৈরি হবে। সে হোটেল তৈরি হলে তার 10 মহলা হোটেল, সেথরে গোটে এলিভেটর লাগলা। কিছু দিন পরে জানা পড়লা সমস্ত লোক খালি কমপ্লেন করুଥିଲେ, আগে এলিভেটরটা ভারি স্লো, এটা কোন গোটে এলিভেটরটা বহুত সময় নেଉଛି উপরକୁ ଯିବା ପାଇଁ। Then the manager, he had a choice of making this complaint, taking this complaint to the board of directors and changing the elevator. But that took a lot of time. All he did was ପଡ଼ିଥିଲା ଯେ ଲୋକମାନେ ଦର୍ପଣରେ ନିଜକୁ ଦେଖିବାକୁ ପସନ୍ଦ କରନ୍ତି, ଦର୍ପଣ ନିଜ ପାଖରେ କିଏ ଛିଡ଼ାଇ ତାକୁ ଟିକେ ଦେଖିବାକୁ ପସନ୍ଦ କରନ୍ତି। ତେଣୁ ସେ ଦର୍ପଣ ଦେଖିବାରେ ଏତେ ସମୟ ଗଲା ଯେ ସେଇ ଏଲିଭେଟର ଉପରକୁ ଯାଉ ତଳକୁ ଆସେ ଯେତିକି ସମୟ ନେଉଥିଲା ସେତିକି ସମୟ ନେଲା ମଧ୍ୟ they did not complain. This is a simple innovative trick that the manager played there and succeeded.
Yes, sir. One or two concepts I am still not clear. What he told about clusters. what he told about clusters, how they should be. Second thing is what he told about GST, and third, he gave a metaphor of IPL. What he was trying to say, I would like to clarify.
Okay, I will give you the Kaju cluster. But there may be a Kaju startup unit with a capital of 1 lakh, and there may be a startup unit with a capital of 10 crores. Similarly, a student is studying in class 1 and someone is graduating. So, but you can have a cluster of similar kind of entrepreneurs where I don't know how to explain. Means there may be various verticals in that cluster. They will be only small units, maybe 3,000 square feet area small. You won't having a 1 acre plot like in Manchester Industrial Estate. Just besides a 1 acre plot, there is 5,000 square foot area given to someone. I think that like this HIG, MIG houses, you should have 5,000 square foot sheds. Thing is European Union, the process paved the way for betterment by the internal economy of the European states increased by.
So I was listening to the session. I was listening to Sahu sir and then Anu Pujari sir. I was all the while thinking about one proposal which I'm not sure about how the banks go about funding these small startups. I'm talking about startups in very specific. So just want to understand this. That we are only thinking about the MSMEs just facing a problem with finances. I also believe that support, as in you're talking about skill, technology, and being capable of picking up. Definitely, I might have a very good idea, but then I should have the capability, I should have the skill to take up this startup. And then sir spoke about Laghu Udyog Bandhu, yes, Laghu Udyog Bandhu and Nivesh Mitra. So I just want to add something to it. It might be a very vague idea, but I took up a loan for my two-wheelers a few years back. I went to a bank and I find that there was a person from the HDFC bank who was there selling the product. It was not the Hero Honda person. I mean to say that the bank was the one who gave this support to the organization that is called Hero Honda. Why should we need a mentor to be online? Why can't the bank associate a person who can assist an entrepreneur from the day one of applying a loan to getting it and then to implement it in the right direction? Why can't we have, because we are getting professionals these days who are proficient with their finance skills, the marketing skills, so that they can definitely be of very good help, and in turn the bank will definitely get good returns from the startup.
Two different type of project. And as you rightly told, if you come to any incubation, and I was talking about that Karnataka startup warehouse, where the Karnataka government has given 35,000 square feet. NASCOM is that IT, that association. Their exports are available. Those you are mentoring, they're not only mentoring, even they have a lot of series of program. They're calling both from supply as well as demand side. They require funding is one of the requirement. They arrange meeting with PE investors.
Sandeep, he gave his thoughts about how the cluster of the incubation sites better done than it is being done. We have industrial estates and all that. I would like just to say, I thought I had seen some arrangement long back. I had been to Malaysia. So I have seen some arrangement. I thought, I am not saying that will succeed here or that will not, but I found the arrangement is really a lot of learning can be coming out of that. They have incubation estates in Malaysia, where something there are 20 plots or they have good infrastructure created and all that. The entrepreneur who has that urge and all that, he is allowed, once they are speaking some selection criteria and all that, they allow that person to come there. But the beauty is, from the day one, he knows for certain he cannot continue in that structured arrangement of infrastructure. Fantastic infrastructure is there. After 5 years, he has to move out and do his own business setup. He knows that. So he is not staying put there. But during that time, he is linked almost like an ancillary unit to a good unit. For Philips, they want some certain particular small parts to be made. Now he is the supplier, he will be the supplier. So he gets that experience of maintaining that quality standard and all that. He should not purchase anything. That is their ancillary. So he gets that handhold thing right from the beginning. What is involved in good standards, quality and all that. But always knowing that I like to set up my limits in that environment too. So he has got a period in which he interacts with bankers, with the marketing EA, as he has done on his own. He through his own experience, he has known the market, how it is to be done, and he has given up his job. So all that.
Does anybody listen and hear about Bhubaneswar district? Bangalore. Bangalore has become huge. Pune has become huge. So what was true for this software did not necessarily translate to be true for real manufacturing.
Yeah.
He is manufacturer. I bring him to my campus. His requirement, and if he is a forging manufacturer, will be completely different. But I understand, because at some point of time, somebody from KIIT had come to me in Delhi and mentioned to me that KIIT apparently has an incubation center which is doing very well. But my request to all of you is kindly get to know Mr. Samarendra Sahu from Government of Odisha, is sitting in the front row. He has been my colleague in the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, and presently he is heading the Institute of Entrepreneurship in Manchester. You don't want to say in Odisha?
Yes.
In Manchester. So it is on his shoulders that the entrepreneurship development of Odisha has been listed. So we think it is going to be true. I don't know. I'm sorry. And there is a boy who wanted to ask a question there.
Yes. Sahu of Siddhi, to add that Government of India has started a project called DDU-GKY, Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Gramin Kaushal Yojana, and under that they selected Orissa for the pilot, and in Orissa they had set up a target of selecting 1.5 lakhs youth, and they have reached almost 85%, and this candidate mobilization in Orissa has been taken as a Orissa model for other state rural livelihood missions. But to tell you, the number is all right, and you will be astonished. Last year's retention, as far as candidates selected and the retained, was only 28%. There are around 60 agencies who are training in Orissa, and parents come and beg those agencies कि पिलाटा गाँव घरे रहू सी आसिक मास्टर लिखिदेव आपको जमी आम मास्टर मैंने गाँव आसिक स्कूल मास्टर थे दरमा नहीं लिखिदेव. So the basic problem of changing the mindset or achieving a shift in attitude of the youth, of their parents, of the influencers in the village, that we are not addressing, neither from the government side nor from agency like CB or other side. So that's why it will go on continuing. And to tell you, we are very, very excited about the Orissan plumbers ruling whole of the country, because it's you say trickle down effect or ripple effect. See, Kendrapada is in rock.
COI also like to have like coaching, like our LMP, in certain important areas. So in that, if you see, what is more important, as you rightly told, you require a right agency who will be able to take up this type of job. We got master craftsmen from Bardoi at our cost to give training. How it will be possible at training? We have got a lot of companies in Odisha, they are ready to spend money on CSR. So they can spend some money, and they, like Abhyutthana, like institutions can come forward, mobilize those CSR money and create that training type of institution, or bring some out expert from the outside those will be acceptable again. The particular trainer should be acceptable to that particular section. Matchmaking is very important. I'm sure we have to do a lot. Say for example, if I haven't said me, I like to sponsor those type of activity. Sir knows in Chennapatnam, they have got a world-class college.